All right, today I got this tri-tip. This tri-tip's actually from Snake River Farms. It's their black grade. This is how it comes straight out of the package. So there's a minimal prep on these. I'm gonna take some of this. You can leave some of this silver skin on. It's not gonna hurt it too much. The only thing it could affect on the finished product is the chew. Then you got some of that thicker fat on the top here. But then right here, if you look, this is some of that really, really thick silver skin, and that's the one you really want to remove. You can see a little bit of the difference between this side and this side. This is the one that's going to create some chew on the finished product if you leave that on. So I'm going to get some of this off here. Let's move that down. Yeah, so this is going for some French dips. So you definitely, you're gonna put it in some bread. You definitely want to be able to bite through it. So let's get some, just kind of follow that down. See that? You can see how thick that is. And if you lose some meat, you lose some meat, but that's okay. Let's get some of that off. Here we go. A sharp knife obviously goes a long way. Let's get that off there. That's all right. Okay, so we got rid of that. So we got rid of the silver skin. Some of this fat you don't really need on. I know fat's flavor, and obviously you can see the marbling in this. So when it comes to Wagyu, you can actually just take it all the way down. If you're using a lesser grade meat, you'll want to leave some of that fat on there for flavor, because it'll render. Depending on if you go hot and fast, you'll definitely be able to crisp it up. The low and slow, and then a reverse sear. I prefer to have less fat on there because it won't render as much. So let me actually clean this up a bit. I'm gonna lose some of that meat there, but that's okay. Like right now, a lot of this fat's probably good. I'm just different. When I'm trimming, I get a little aggressive with it. Just me. You can see there's more of that really tough silver skin there. You want that. You definitely want that off. See there? Boom, boom, boom. And then I'll continue to trim this a little bit, and then I'll take it right over to the Traeger. Stay tuned. All right, time to season this tri-tip. I'm gonna go with the Traeger prime rib rub, one of my favorites. And a piece of meat like this, salt and pepper, does the trick. But I like the little bit of rosemary that's in this one. And I do not marinate my tri-tips. I know some people are into that, but I enjoy the beef and some of the flavor I can get from the rub, but that's as far as I'll go with that. So let's get this seasoned up, and we'll let it sweat out for about 30 minutes. Allows the rub to absorb into the meat before it hits the smoker or whatever cooker you're using. Okay, you can see I've this pipe been sitting here for about 15 minutes. You can see the rub itself has absorbed into the meat pretty much. So you want it to sit out about 20 to 30 minutes. I got another tri-tip here that I just seasoned. You can see how dry it is. Eventually it'll do the same thing. I use that signature steak seasoning from Snake River Farms. That is freaking delicious. So I'm gonna get these on the Traeger at 225 degrees. And yeah, we'll walk those over right now. Okay, so I got my tri-tips on. I'm letting that get up to 225 degrees. I'm trying to work as much flavor into these tri-tips as possible on the low and slow end. These should take about an hour to get to where I'm looking for. So here's the tri-tips. I got the one seasoned with the Traeger prime rib, and then this one is seasoned with Snake River Farms steak seasoning. But at the end of the day, if you're seasoning beef, salt and pepper will bring out the best beef flavor. So I'm gonna get these, and what I am shooting for these, because they're going into French dip, is more of a medium, not my normal medium rare, because the family red meat in between their bread. So I'm looking for more of a medium cook on these. So I'll let these get to about 125 internal, and then I'll reverse sear them on some cast iron to finish them up. So let me close it and let these things do what they gotta do. Alright, well there they are. Because I'm going for more of a medium cook than my normal medium rare, I'm looking for about 125 internal. So I'm going to go off the center. So right now, if you can see, there we go, I'm at about 105. Still got a little ways to go. We got this other tri-tip here. Yeah, they're both riding about the same. So I want to go about another 20 or so degrees before I hit the cast iron and reverse sear those. Alright, so now I'm going with the reverse sear technique to finish these off. You can finish these hot and fast to where you wouldn't have to sear them, but I go low and slow. Now it's to develop a nice crust on the outside to finish it off. So this one's sitting at 125 internal. This Wagyu one is at 120, so it's not quite ready. So let's take this one, get that right on the cast iron. This is how we're going to finish it off. Something thicker like this, well, this will probably be a 3 minute per side, but if it's any thicker than that, you probably want maybe 4 minutes per side, just depends. And we'll flip it. Alright, now it's time to flip it. We're going to go about another 3 minutes on the other side. So, hook that. That's what we're looking for, a little bit of crust, a little bit of char on the outside, and try to shut that lid. Alright, it's kind of what we're looking for. Some of that char, some of that crust build up. Here's the other side. And a lot of times you see you got the side. You don't quite get it. Just take stand it up. Sear it a little bit more on the sides to lock that flavor and juices in. Alright, now that they're reverse seared, I'm just going to let them rest. I'm going to take them in the house, room temperature. Let them sit on the countertop uncovered. That's my preference. A lot of people I notice will just take a piece of tin foil and go over the top to let it rest, but you got to understand that traps heat and continues to cook your meat. So if you're looking to continue to cook your meat, cover it with foil. If you're looking to not continue the process and you pulled at your right internal temp, just let it sit for at least 20 minutes or so before you start slicing it. Okay, so here's my first tri-tip. I cut it in half. I mean, it's rested, it's still juicy, but you can see the grain is running this way. It kind of starts changing direction. But when I cut this, I'm gonna go against the grain to have the most tender sandwich, because when you put meat into a sandwich, you want the meat to come with it. You can see the grain right there. So we want our slices to go this way. So I'm gonna do it on this meat slicer, get some really thin pieces. Let me turn this bad boy on. Alright, let's see, they're coming out pretty thin. I think that'll do it. Alright, let's take a look real quick. I can go thicker, thinner, but you can see that's not going to suck in a sandwich. These are going to be some really tender tri-tip French dips, so I'm going to continue this process with the rest of the tri-tips and get that sandwich built. Okay, the same cast iron I used for the tri-tips to reverse sear, I'm going to brown up the bread that's going to go for the French roll. Yeah. Alright, now to build that French dip. Nice. Right there. We're going to build the sucker. Throw some au jus, like so. We'll throw that provolone over the top. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that tri-tip French dip tutorial. This thing is like, I'm ready to just inhale it, so cheers, you guys. That's how you slice tri-tip without taking it all in one bite, and it's still in the bun.